Most people think attraction is built with the right words, but the truth is it's created in the moments you say nothing at all. Welcome to Decode His Mind. Today we're going to uncover the deeper psychology of attraction and why it's not your words, but your presence, timing, and energy that make you unforgettable in someone's mind. A man doesn't remember a woman just because of what she said. He remembers her because of what stayed in his mind after she was gone. Sit with that for a moment, because most people were taught attraction in the wrong way. They were told that to make him chase, you need to do more, text more, smile more, prove more, be louder than everyone else in the room. But that's not what makes someone unforgettable. The women who leave a deep mark are not always the loudest. They are not begging for attention or forcing chemistry. They carry something quieter, something stronger, a calm confidence that makes people feel them before they even understand why. And if you've ever felt like you gave your time, your effort, your softness, your energy, and still received mixed signals back, then stay with this. Because this changes how you understand attraction, not through tricks or games, but through presence, timing, and words that seem simple but stay in the chest long after the moment ends. Picture a busy street, noise everywhere, people rushing, everyone trying to be noticed. Now imagine one person who doesn't rush, doesn't compete, doesn't force space. She just is. She breathes. She stands grounded. She carries a sense of peace, like she belongs to herself. That quotes what people notice first. That quotes what men feel. Because attraction doesn't always come from doing more. Often, it comes from stopping the chase and holding your ground. It's in the pause before you speak. It's in not rushing to explain every emotion. It's in letting silence exist without trying to fix it. Most people think attention comes from performance, but real pull comes from emotional impact, the feeling you leave behind. A man may forget your exact words. He may forget the song playing or what you wore, but he will remember how he felt around you. That is what matters. Not being liked for a moment, but being remembered after it ends. Men don't fall for logic, they fall for feeling, a mood, a glance, a pause, a sentence said at the exact right moment with the right energy behind it. That's why many women get confused. They think, I replied fast, I was kind, I showed interest, so why didn't it land? Because emotion doesn't respond to proof, it responds to experience. If your energy feels tense, he feels pressure. If it feels needy, he feels weight. But if it feels calm, playful, and grounded, he feels drawn in without knowing why. That's the difference between trying to be understood and becoming magnetic. One pushes, the other invites. One says, notice me. The other says, I already know who I am. And that energy is felt instantly. This is where mystery matters. Not fake distance, not cold behavior, just enough space that he feels there is more to you than what is immediately visible. Because people are pulled toward what they can't fully define. In a noisy world, calm becomes unforgettable. Think of a song that wasn't the loudest or most dramatic, yet hours later, it's still in your head. That's emotional resonance. It doesn't demand attention, it stays in it. That's how memorable energy works, not by competing, but by creating a feeling. So instead of asking, how do I impress him? The real question becomes, what does it feel like to be around me? Does it feel rushed, uncertain, like I need something? Or does it feel warm, easy, grounded, and a little intriguing? Because that mix matters. A woman becomes unforgettable when she creates the sense that there is more beneath the surface. Like even her silence has meaning, like her presence has layers. So don't rush to fill every pause. Let silence exist. Let eye contact speak. Let a smile finish what words start. And when the moment is right, a few simple lines can shift everything. You and me, that could be dangerous. Said softly, not as a statement, not as a performance, just as a passing thought that slipped out in a warm moment. That's what makes it powerful. It doesn't chase, it doesn't explain, it creates a picture, a possibility, a version of connection that feels exciting and alive. And once that picture is planted, the mind does the rest. But what matters most is not just the line itself, it's what you do after. You don't over-explain it. You don't laugh it off nervously. You don't cancel it out. You let it sit. You hold eye contact for a beat longer. You smile slightly. Then you move on naturally. That pause is where the effect grows. Of course, this only works when the energy is already warm, when there is ease, not tension. Because boldness only feels attractive when it comes from confidence, not desperation. When a woman speaks from calm confidence, she doesn't look like she's trying. She looks alive. And that difference is felt immediately. Another line that works in a quieter way is this: "You have a way of distracting me and you don't even realize it." It's soft, not heavy, not demanding, but it creates curiosity because now he starts wondering what he did, what moment shifted things, what exactly affected you. You're not giving everything away, you're leaving space for thought, and that space is where attraction grows. You say it lightly, after a laugh or a moment of eye contact, then you stop. No over-explaining, no extra noise, just presence, because sometimes less words with confidence create more impact than too many words with doubt. And hidden inside that line is something deeper. It flips awareness. He starts seeing himself through your reaction. He becomes more conscious of his effect on you. That reflection is powerful because people are drawn to those who make them feel seen in a different way. It creates curiosity without pressure, connection without control, and curiosity always lingers longer than certainty. Then there's a bolder one, used only when the energy is strong, eye contact is steady, and the moment feels real. If I kissed you right now, I know you wouldn't be able to stop me. This is not about being reckless. It's about controlled confidence. Said in the right moment, it creates tension because it doesn't ask. It states energy, but it only works when there is already chemistry in the air. Otherwise, it loses meaning. When said calmly, without nervousness, it shifts the atmosphere. But again, timing is everything. Because attraction is never about forcing intensity. It's about recognizing it when it already exists. In the end, unforgettable presence is not built through noise. It's built through feeling, through calm, through timing, through energy that doesn't chase but stays grounded. Because people don't remember perfect words. They remember how you made them feel. And that feeling is what stays long after you're gone. The closeness is already there. The moment feels alive enough to carry it. Because the line itself is never the real magic. The mood is what gives it power. You say it slowly, softly. You keep your voice relaxed. You let your eyes stay on him. And then you pause. That pause is where everything expands. That's where imagination steps in. And if you can't trust yourself to hold that pause, then don't use the line yet. Build your energy first. Because real attraction never comes from just words. It comes from what's behind them. This is where many women get it wrong. They hear a line, they like how it sounds, and they use it at the wrong time, in the wrong tone, from the wrong energy. Then they wonder why it felt awkward. It felt awkward because timing wasn't right. The right words in the wrong moment become the wrong words. Think of it like a match. Light it in a bright room and it barely matters. Light it in darkness and suddenly it changes everything. That's timing in attraction. If you speak when the conversation is flat, it dies. If you speak when he's distracted, it disappears. But if you wait for the spark, if you feel the rhythm, if you speak when something is already building between you, then even a simple sentence can stay in his mind for days. So stop trying to force memorable moments. Start noticing them. Notice when the air shifts, when the laughter slows down, when eye contact lingers a little longer than usual, when everything around you feels slightly quieter. That's your opening. It frames your words. It sharpens your presence. It shows you're not trying to impress anyone. You're just there, fully aware of yourself. And that changes everything. Men are used to noise. They're used to effort, pressure, over-explaining, constant messages trying to hold attention. So when a woman slows things down, it feels different. And different, when it feels good, becomes memorable. But before any line works, your energy speaks first. The way you walk into a space, the way you sit, the way you listen, the way you breathe before replying. All of it is already being felt before your words even land. So don't just think about what to say. Think about how you are being when you say it. Slow your pace a little. Relax your body. Soften your expression. Let your voice settle instead of rushing out. Not cold, not flat, just grounded. And stop trying to fill every silence like it's dangerous. It isn't. Silence is part of attraction when you stop fearing it. When you speak from calm, even simple words carry weight. Even small moments feel charged. That's not about technique. That's about presence. And presence is what people remember more than anything else. A man often can't explain why one woman stays in his mind and another doesn't. It's rarely just beauty. It's rarely who talked the most. It's who created a feeling, who slowed the moment down, who made him feel something without trying too hard. That's emotional presence. And once you have that, everything you say becomes stronger without effort. There's also something powerful in restraint. Not emotional coldness, not pretending not to care. Restraint means feeling the moment fully without spilling everything too fast. It means letting things unfold instead of forcing them open. That creates depth. That creates tension. And that creates a kind of elegance that stands out naturally. So if you like him, you don't need to prove it constantly. Let it show in your timing, in your tone, in the way you look at him for a second longer, in one sentence that lands, then disappears into silence. That's often more than enough. The problem is, many people believe they have to constantly maintain connection or it will disappear. So they overgive, over-text, over-explain. But attraction doesn't grow from overflow. It grows from balance, from space, from two people meeting each other in moments, not one person carrying everything. So focus less on forcing outcomes and more on the quality of the moment you're in. One grounded moment will always be stronger than 100 anxious messages. And here's something important. None of this is about manipulation. These lines are not tricks. They are not scripts to control someone. They are just expressions of bold, grounded energy when the moment is already real. Because if there is no connection, no line can create one. But if there is chemistry, the right words simply give it shape. That's why honesty matters more than performance. Don't use anything that doesn't feel natural in your body. Don't force energy you don't actually feel. People can always sense when words are borrowed instead of lived. So don't memorize this like a script. Absorb the feeling behind it. The calmness, the timing, the confidence. Then let your own voice shape it. Maybe you say, "You and me, that could be trouble." Maybe, "You're a little distracting, you know that?" Maybe, "If I leaned in right now, I don't think you'd stop me." Same energy, different voice. That's what makes it real. Because when it belongs to you, it lands deeper. And if you take one thing from all of this, let it be this. Stop trying to be the easiest person to understand in 5 minutes. Be the person whose energy unfolds. The person who doesn't rush every silence. The person who doesn't over-explain every feeling. The person who lets moments breathe. Let him wonder a little. Let him replay things in his mind later. Let there be space where curiosity grows. Not games, not confusion, just emotional timing. Because sometimes a half smile says more than a paragraph. Sometimes one slow sentence carries more tension than a whole speech. And sometimes walking away at the right moment leaves a stronger impression than staying too long. Knowing when to end a moment while it still has energy is powerful. It leaves something unfinished in his mind, and unfinished moments tend to return. But none of this works if it's covering insecurity, because energy never lies. If you're trying to sound confident but feel anxious underneath, it shows. If you're trying to control his reaction, it shows. Real presence doesn't chase an outcome. It stays steady inside itself. So the real shift is internal first. Ask yourself, am I speaking from connection or from fear? Am I trying to express something real or trying to avoid losing him? Because unforgettable presence doesn't come from perfect lines. It comes from alignment. When your energy, your timing, and your words match, attraction stops feeling forced. It starts feeling natural, like gravity. And when you reach that point, you stop wondering how to make someone chase you. You simply become someone who is hard to forget. In the end, attraction is never about saying the perfect lines or trying to impress someone with words. It's about the energy behind them, the timing, and the presence you bring into the moment. What truly stays with a person is not what was said, but how they felt around you. When you learn to stay calm, speak with intention, and let silence work in your favor, your presence becomes more powerful than any effort to force attention. You stop chasing reactions and start creating feelings that naturally linger. And that is the real shift. Not doing more, not speaking louder, but becoming someone whose energy is steady, grounded, and unforgettable. If you found value in this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss what's coming next on Decode His Mind. And if this message resonated with you, comment the word presence below, because that's what truly makes someone unforgettable.